The Jackson Soil and Water Conservation District is a local special district. So we're sort of like a fire district or a library or a school district in that we are tax-based and we are a public agency. However, we are non-regulatory. So we know all about local city, municipality, county, state, and federal regulations and laws around natural resources and environmental management, but we don't enforce any of them. So instead, we work voluntarily with landowners or land managers to conserve, protect, and enhance natural resources for the economic, environmental, and quality of life benefits for the residents of Jackson County. And we're pretty fortunate at this district to have a tax base. So we receive a small amount of revenue from all of your property taxes, which allows us to have a fairly sizable staff. We have 9 staff members and also a small grant fund pool, which helps offset some of the costs of what can be very expensive management changes around things like irrigation efficiency and water conservation. So why do we exist? Basically, soil and water conservation districts, there's one that corresponds roughly to a county or a watershed boundary across the country. So every area in the country has a conservation district. If some of you are from Northern or anywhere in California, they're known as resource conservation districts there. But basically, it was born out of the Dust Bowl and the loss of topsoil and collapse of agricultural communities, agricultural economies that came from essentially overexploiting soil resources, water resources, coupled with drought. So a very extended drought that hit kind of the entire country, but the Midwest in particular, and caused massive erosion problems, crop failure, starvation, all of these kinds of issues. So a lot of the practices that I will talk about today were things that what is now the Natural Resource Conservation Service started as the Soil Conservation Service, but a lot of the practices that we try and implement and encourage now are similar to what you might have heard an agricultural conservationist talk about in the 40s and 50s, with refined, better science as well. So like I said, we work directly with private landowners or public landowners or land managers in the county. And we take a landscape approach, a systems level approach to solving problems, and try and design solutions that borrow from the best available science, contextually appropriate practices, so things that would really fit with our ecology, our social landscape, our infrastructural landscape, and also the context of that individual landowner. And we do things like one-on-one site visits to provide technical information and advice on resource management. We write grants both internally with our internal funds and to state and federal agencies. And then we help develop project plans and implement those plans on private property.